Hey, you lovely people, it's Elise, and I just want to make sure that we are live on Facebook. One moment, please. Because as you know, tech is not my forte, and I have problems frequently, so let's see how I'm doing. Yep, there I am. Okay. We are live. So I'm Elise Tager, and Julie, hi, thank you for joining me today. We are going to be talking to Anna, and she's having some technical problems, which it looks like her daughter's helping her with, which is so cute. So I'm just going to chat a little bit in anticipation, and Anna, it's going to be fine. I know it will. You've got a good helper there, so no worries. So let me get started, you guys. Rachel Rood, how nice to join me. Thank you so much. I am Elise Tager. I'm a business coach for ambitious female entrepreneurs and creator of the Solo to CEO program. I help women entrepreneurs grow their business, scale their business, and if they're solopreneurs, get out of the worker bee mode so that they understand how to grow and scale their business. So that's what I do. I do one-to-one coaching. I have a program. I have a whole bunch of courses. So that's me in a nutshell. The topic today is clutter affecting your business and your mindset? And I was hoping Hallie could be here because she used to be an organizational person herself, and she couldn't make it today because she's got another activity going on now. So she'll watch the replay. As usual, we are coming to you from StreamYard, which I like using for a variety of reasons. But if you're checking in from Facebook, I see your comments, but I just see you as a Facebook user. So do one of two things. Click into the link that allows StreamYard to recognize your laptop, at which point your name will pop up. If you can't find it, or if that's too complicated, just put your name in the comment, and we will go from there. I'll be able to see who you are. So that would be great. How's Anna doing over there? Not so great. All right, let me just talk at you a little while longer. The reason I was excited about this topic is that so the topic is organizing to keep your mind and your desk and your office and your brain decluttered. And the reason this is interesting to me now is that the fact that we're spending so much time at home and at our desks means that we are probably a little messier than usual. And I don't know who that would be, but that could definitely be me. So I thought this would be a good opportunity for us to take a look at getting organized by a professional with input from a professional, and getting her tips on how to stay organized. And it isn't just cleaning out your closets. For me, it's cleaning out your brain, doing a digital detox, doing all kinds of things to make sure that there's less chaos in your life. And I talk about this a lot. I talk about being able to minimize the outside influences so that you can stay focused and on track with your own growth. So that could mean things like cleaning out your inbox, getting rid of the newsletters you don't read, not signing up for too many webinars, that sort of thing. So let me tell you one quick story before I bring Anna on, if I can. Anna, are you still struggling over there?
In here, I think you need to add,
there you are.
Okay.
You're here.
I'm here. Woo!
I'm so glad. Yay. Good. Okay.
I am not tech savvy. I don't know what happened, but I apologize profusely.
You're not even late, so don't worry about it. Everyone say hello to Anna, and I will introduce her in just a second.
Gosh.
Don't worry about it. Oh, please.
Technology, it's great when it works.
I know, right? So again, I want to remind you, I'm Elise Tager, and I'm here every Wednesday doing a Facebook Live of some kind. So I'm either doing a coaching call or training or an interview like this every single Wednesday at noon, so that you guys have more value in the group. And so not just in the group, but by working in my community, which is expanding rapidly. So we are live in the Solopreneur to Entrepreneur group, which is where most of you will probably see this. on my business page, on YouTube, and in my Solo to CEO Facebook group, which is my paid group for my personal clients. So we are all over the place. If you can't catch us live any Wednesday, the video always stays in all of those groups. So you can watch a replay later. I always circle back to see if there are questions or comments, and I answer those questions and comments. So you're still in conversation with me, and I'm sure Anna will do the same thing. But if you're watching their replay, welcome, and don't be shy. I want to introduce Anna to you in a second, but more about why I wanted to do this particular topic today. So just a quick story. When I was in college, which was a long time ago, and was just during I think it was during finals, probably during finals, and I was just losing it. I was hysterical and crying and just at loose ends, just a mess. And what does a girl do? She called her mom. So I called my mother, babbling and blubbering, and I was just crying, and I was so upset. And she said, "Lisi, I want you to do a few things. Go take a shower. Go wash your hair. Do your laundry. Clean up your room. And when you've done all of that, call me back." And I thought, what's a stupid thing to say? I did all of those things, and I called her back, and I felt so much better. And that brings back to such a wonderful memory of my mom, but also how chaos makes you crazy. And if you just get some organization in hand, it just helps you so much. Anna, do you agree with that? I'll bet you do.
Hi, Elise. Yes,
Hey,
absolutely.
welcome.
Thank you for having me again. Sorry for the technical difficulties.
No problem. No problem.
Yes, listening to you, I absolutely agree. Absolutely agree with everything you're stating. When your life, your home, your workspace is cluttered, it clutters your mind. You can't find anything. Your productivity goes down. Like it just affects every aspect of your life. Absolutely.
And here we are in COVID, right? And the world is chaotic enough as it is right now. So the areas that we can control, which is, what we can control, we really want to stay on top of, so we aren't at the effect of even more chaos. Anna, let me take a second and introduce you, because I know you, but not everybody here does. So Anna is the clutter buster. She is passionate about helping homeowners clean, organize, and declutter their living spaces and their minds, serving her clients virtually and in person. So Anna helps people create a stressless life and specializes in delivering peace and serenity. Doesn't that sound great? One room at a time, one project at a time. So Anna works in the home. She works in the offices with people who are moving, with people who are downsizing. Anna focuses on decluttering and organization in all of those areas. So that's why I was so excited to have Anna come here. Anna, welcome. I'm so glad to have you with us today.
Thanks again, Elise. I'm glad to be here.
You are welcome. So how did you get into organizing? This is not for everybody, right? You've got to be a particular kind of person. So how did you get into it?
Well, just to give you a quick background, so I've always loved to clean and organize at a very young age, as strange as that sounds to everybody. So my parents never had to argue with me about cleaning my room or, whatever, because I just love to do it. And I would get up every Saturday morning at 8 o'clock. I'd set my alarm, and I kid you not, I'd get up and start cleaning so I could be done by noon.
Wow.
And I know. And my parents were like, wow. So needless to say, I've always been like this at a very young age. So anyway, I would help friends clean and declutter just for something to do on the side. It was never like I was passionate about it, but it never became what it is today. So I had a job for 26 years, and then that came to an end a year and a half ago. So I decided, well, I'm going to do what I love to do and do best as well, and that's cleaning. So I opened up my cleaning business. It's successful. And then, of course, COVID hit, right? The whole world had to come to a shutdown, forcing me to close my business temporarily. And that's when I pivoted into my other passion, which is organizing. So it was funny because this particular neighbor I had when I lived in another city, she lived 3 doors down, and for lack of a better word, she was a hot mess. She had 3 kids. Honestly, I say that with all love. She had 3 young kids, and they were, oh my gosh, they were just as bad as her. Anytime I went there, from the moment I stepped foot into her house, there was chaos, there was clutter, there was like,
No.
never ever find anything. She would always be running around before soccer or hockey. Where's this? Where's
Where are
that?
the cleats? Where are the right?
Yeah, none of them knew where anything was. And I'm just like, okay, I watched her, my head would spin. I'm like, how do you guys live like this?
Mm-hmm.
So I approached her. I said, listen, I can't watch the struggle here. It's it's killing me. I don't know how you do it, but why don't I come and help you, and let's start, organizing and decluttering your home so that, you can make some sense of this. So I did, and I set up systems for her. I mean, it was a temporary thing. I'm not going to lie, because then you have your teenagers now and a teenage year, and they would come along and just disrupt everything we did.
Right.
So, but anyway, I would go in there once a month and try to make sense of it again. And I would just continue to do this. And, but in saying that, I mean, I am very organized, as I keep saying, but right now I have my desk. It is so cluttered, and I'm feeling what everyone else feels when they have this chaotic and clutter going around them. I feel like my mind is just racing because I'm like, I got to get this
Yeah.
done because I can't. So I'm not that I'm a real disorganized person, because I'm not, but I know when I am not organized that I feel exactly what I preach to everybody else. My productivity is low because, oh my gosh, where's that pen? Where's that paper? I know I had it yesterday. Where is it? And it's taking time out of my schedule, my
Yeah.
time, my mood. Now I'm all upset because I can't find it. So it affects all aspects of your life, right?
So talk about that. Talk about how it affects productivity, because I mean, it isn't just where did I put my phone. I mean, I find that when I'm in that anxious mode, it's cumulative, so I get more and more crazed, and
Right.
I am less and less productive, and something's got to stop it. I can no longer call my mother and have her tell me to go take a shower, but something's got to stop it. So tell us about the connection between organization and productivity.
Oh,
Sorry, I thought I'd
that's
turn
okay.
that off.
That's okay.
Go ahead.
So it's been proven, many researchers rather have proven that physical clutter at home or on your workstation or workplace affects negative or your productivity in a negative way, as I was mentioning. A cluttered office can negatively affect your mood, resilience, your ability to work. It just creates stress around you. Your mood levels low. And I'm sure we can all relate to that at one time or another, right? So very cluttered, homes can provoke emotional and mental distress. I know a lot of people don't make the connection between clutter and your mood and your mental health, but it all connects together, right? So when you got that chaos, the mental distress, because the family feel like they have no control over their
Right.
spaces, and therefore their lives are chaotic. And so until you get your space organized, you're going to be living in that chaos and,
Yeah.
like you were saying, that anxiety mode and
Right.
all the
Right.
time. So it's very important that your space is organized.
According to you, according to your sense of organization, I know there are people. I used to work with a woman who had an absolutely empty desk, and she kept it that way at all times, because in her world, she'd take out a folder, she'd work on a project, she'd put the folder away. There was nothing on her desk. That was organized to her. I've also worked with other people who had stacks, but they knew where everything was, and they were not comfortable. I mean, you could say, where is the fill in the blank? And they'd reach and they'd know exactly where it was. That was organization for her. So everyone's got their own flavor of what organization is.
Right. An organized mess. That's what the second example you gave, like to them, like if I were to go and start moving stuff, they'd be upset because wait, that I know where everything is. And I'm like, thinking, how?
Right.
And then the other one, first example, that was exactly me. I remember doing homework in high school or elementary school. And I can only bring out the books for the subject I was working on. I couldn't have them all on my desk because it would just create, my mind would just go, oh my gosh, now I know I have this. I couldn't do it. So I had to bring out the textbook and the notebook, finish that course, put it away, and then bring out the rest. So again, two different spectrums.
Yeah.
What works for, one might not work for somebody else, right?
Totally. Let me say hi to some people who are here with us. So Rachel, I said hi. Julie, so glad you're here. Teresa, thank you for joining us. And back over on Facebook, I see Casey, thank you for joining us as well. Again, you guys, we're on StreamYard. If you want to put a comment in the comment section, just put your name there so we can see who's talking to us, because StreamYard just shows us Facebook user unless you do that. So that would be helpful. Okay, other things that we want to talk about is when we're talking about organizations, this is really painful for me. We talked about organization and productivity. Clutter can be in your physical space, but also your digital space too. Oh my God, I just look at, my inbox I've gotten pretty on top of, but the way I organize or don't organize my files, the amount of time that I spend looking for a file that I just created, a couple of weeks ago. Oh, so tell us about staying digitally organized as well. Give us some tips on that.
Elise, first of all, I have to say that this is my first time using StreamYard, and I didn't realize, this is my first time, so I didn't know I had to download Chrome. Like, I was frazzled. I'm like, so then I screamed up for my daughter. Thank God she was here, or I don't know what I would have done. So I am not tech savvy whatsoever, and I'm very honest and upfront about it. I hire people to do that, and I do what I do best because I just get so frazzled with technology. But
this is why we have daughters, right? Or sons.
Exactly. And these kids just are born with that instinct and know how to. I know. And I'm like, oh my gosh. But anyway, so so the digital space. Oh, what happened there? Did I lose you?
No. I'm right here. I can see you. I can hear you.
Okay, something happened on my end. I apologize.
Okay. Hey, Holly, welcome. Hey, Lisa, thank you for joining. Go ahead. Sorry to interrupt you.
That's okay. Yeah. So the digital world, as we know, everything is digital. Everything's online. Everything is it's especially right now with COVID, right? So when I refer to digital, I talking about your computer, your laptop, your tablet, your phone, like anything digital, right? That's the digital clutter. So as we were talking now, not that I have my phone on, but most people's phone pings when there's a message, your phone rings, and everybody's attention gets diverted when we get those pings and notifications, right? Let's be honest. And oh my gosh, I got to rush to answer it or look at it. And that just makes your mind race more, right? And especially when you're aren't familiar with all the all the stuff that's digital, like ourselves, because we're both old school. So those kind of things compete for your attention, right? So now it's your way, right, from your job, and your attention's averted to all this electronic stuff that goes on around us, right? So your computer has to be functional as well. And you kind of touched on it earlier about emails. Like, I am not, my forte is not digital clutter yet. But, trying to put all these emails and then trying to find them when I'm looking for them, it's just, it's painful for me. But so how can you be productive if you have to dig through a mountain of files or mountain of emails to get through that, to find that one email that you're trying to find, right? So you have to find some kind of system to put all those emails in, right? So that you're not struggling. So, in the digital world, as we all know, is where everything is at these days, right? So, excuse me, also very important to get your digital clutter under control. So,
any hot tips for that? Any hot tips for how to file files or how to label files so you can file them later? Any ideas on that?
So, are you talking physical files?
No. Like digital files.
You know what? I am not tech savvy, so I belong.
Well, let's talk about the office then. Let's, since we are all working from home, we have an office that is either, I don't keep paper. And so everything I do is on the computer, but that I'm
Right.
not everybody. So
Right.
what, how do you organize your office and its paper so that it's functional for you?
So what I have is, so I put any books I've read or am reading. I have like uh it's not even a bookcase, but it's on my desk. It's like a file that I can insert books in.
Mhm.
So I have my books in one little area. Then I have binders with different courses and different materials in it that I go to. That's my go-to. So I have them fully labeled on the outside, for my cleaning business, my organizing business. It's all for me, all, neatly labeled, because that's what I have to
Wait,
do.
let me go back here.
Yeah.
Fully labeled. That just was like, oh, I'm looking at these 20 binders that I have. There's no labeling on the outside. I have no idea. I have
Oh,
to go
really?
through all of them every time. I know. I'm exposing an awful lot of my
No, that's
weaknesses,
okay.
but
Listen, we're all human, right?
you've
And
seen it all, right? You've seen
what
it
may
all.
work
Yeah.
for me may not work for you or anybody else. But so I have these binders. Okay. So my first one is my organizing business. So it's labeled organizing right on the front of the binder. And then off, the side has
Mhm.
organizing. Then when you open it, I have different labels for, different topics that I talk about, right? In my organizing business. So if I'm flipping for, I don't know, kitchen organizing, there's a tab. I go to kitchen, I got bedroom, I got bathroom. So it's easy for me just to find. I don't have to
Sure.
go through like a 500, book binder trying to find, oh my gosh, where in all of this is my kitchen,
Stuff.
stuff that I
Yeah.
want to talk about or whatever. I
Yep.
just flip to it. So that for me works because I'm old school, right? So everything is labeled, and all my pens are in a neat little round holder, and my highlighters and my, I have a spot for everything. So okay, not right now, it's not as organized, but and all my papers, like I put receipts in, all my gas in one receipt, and I filed them the way, from the most recent to the, and on and on and on, right? Then I have courses I've taken. I file those under courses, like I have an accordion file, and I
Mhm.
file them in whatever kind of receipt it is. So I keep them all organized. So come income tax time, how people are like, oh my gosh, where are all my receipts? How do I, mine are all in year order, and then into the, subcategories like gas and whatever supplies. And it's easy for me at income tax season or anytime I'm looking
Sure.
for a receipt. I'm not like, oh
Right.
my God, where did I put it? I just don't
That's
throw
great.
it anywhere. I file it and I know exactly where to find it.
This comes easily to you, right? This
It
is
does. And
And you didn't have to train yourself to do this. It was just
no,
came easily. Okay, that's interesting.
I'm telling you, my parents, and I'm not saying they didn't have struggles other places with me, but I'm telling
Right.
you, when it came to organizing and cleaning, my parents were, everybody's like, how are you so lucky to have somebody at 11 years old that's cooking and cleaning and organizing, and you don't have to fight with them because they couldn't understand that concept.
That's fabulous.
Yeah,
God.
it's
Before we go on to the next topic, because you gave me a whole list of really great things to talk about, you guys who are listening, do you guys have any
yes,
specific questions
yes,
about
absolutely.
organizing your life or your office or your time that you want to talk to Anna about? I'd love to, I hate to have us all talking at you. I'd rather we talk together. So
No, that's fine.
drop a comment or a question for Anna so she can address it. And I'm sure she'd love to do that.
Oh,
Let
I
me
have
see if
absolutely any
anybody
questions. Yes.
on the other side. Okay. One of the things that I also have a tendency of doing, and this is not me, this is another uh, flavor of organization or not. Um, I'm a very, very focused type A.
Mhm.
And my husband used to tease me. He said, you are so focused on what you're doing that you don't see anything around you. So the kitchen could be burning down, the cat screaming to be fed. I don't see it or hear it.
Really?
And, so again, that's my sense of organization is almost neglect because when I'm at my desk, this is the only reality I have. It's my computer and my desk, and that's it. So rest of my house, I'm glad you're not seeing because it's not that well organized. But again, it's a different sense of organization than some other people have. Guys, any questions for Emma? You're being very quiet today.
Yeah.
It's not like you. All right. So
But
if
you know
we
what?
want
Sorry, just to touch on what you just said,
Yeah.
about, I wish, now I know for you, you think your husband says, oh, the house could be burning down around you, wouldn't know it. But I'm the opposite. Like I am almost certain I'm ADHD because I hear any little noise and I'm distracted. Like it's
Oh, wow.
crazy,
Yeah.
crazy. I wish I could just be tunnel and that's all I'm seeing. But if somebody walks in the house, I can hear them. If they're making any kind of noise, I can, and then it just, so it's not bad to be like that. I wish
Yeah,
I
it's just different. We're just different personalities.
Different
I can't have the radio or any kind of music on, even if it's without words. I only have room in my brain for what I'm thinking and doing. I can't, it's just too much distraction. So I can't listen to music. A couple of questions came in. If we wanted to do a true home overhaul, should we begin with a certain room, bathrooms, kitchen? Any recommendations for order of how to do an overhaul at home?
That is a very common question I get. And my answer to that is it all depends on what room. So 2 questions. What room bothers you the absolute most that you want to get organized first? And
Right.
everybody, it's obviously going to be different, right? Or which room that you use the most that you want to get started, which is usually your kitchen and then a bedroom or a bathroom, right? But I tell people, which room do you walk into and you think, oh my God, I need this. Like I need so much help in this room.
Uh-huh.
And then you pick that, right? But the first mistake everybody makes is they want to start like everywhere. They, do a little bit in the kitchen, a little bit in the bathroom. You just can't do that. You need to pick a room and walk and watch it through all the way to the end, right? And only 15 minutes a day is all you need. You don't need to put aside a whole week to do this decluttering, right? Because first of all, you're going to overwhelm yourself and you're not going to see it, right? So pick the room that really bothers you the most, that you want to see organized first, that would make your life so much easier.
Mm-hmm.
And start small. Start at one end of the room. I say start from the left, start at the top and go down. So if you have a bookcase, start from the top of the bookcase and work your way down each shelf, and then continue to the right, and work your way around the whole room, right? Most people start here, then, oh my God, then they get diverted like me. If you're ADHD, then you're over there. And then, oh my gosh, what did I do over here? And then you forget. And then you're just like, oh my gosh, and you forget what you've done. So just left of the room to the right and work your way around.
That's great. Yeah.
15 minutes is all you need.
Another hint that I had an organizer come in and help me when I was moving a while ago. And she said, well, a tip that she gave that I loved was, she said, as you did, start with one room and also have a box or a basket that you're going to put anything in that's going to go in another room.
Exactly.
Don't go to the other room right away. So you find, some towels that haven't been folded and put away. Don't do that right away. Put them in that basket. And then after you've done with that room, then leave and do the next thing. It'll keep you focused on getting a room done.
Exactly. How many people walk into a room and they just drop it in that? And for me, and I'm sure it's with most people, they have that drop zone rather in their kitchen. Kids come home, drop their books, they drop this, and you should see my counter. And my family knows how organized I am. I'm like, what is this? This cannot happen here. Listen, I'll give you a time frame to look through this mail and stuff, and then it's gone. But they have that drop zone, and stuff that doesn't belong, and bring it downstairs when you go. Why is it on my kitchen counter? Why am I holding it here? Right? So same thing. Put a pile of that doesn't belong in the kitchen, for instance, and then when you're done, bring it where it's supposed to go. Right?
And then I love that of establishing I don't know if you were kidding or not, but establishing a time frame. This has to be out of here in 24 hours, or I'm ditching it.
Oh no, I give them a time frame, because if I just say, you guys deal with it, then 6 months later, I'm like, it's still here. No, I'm serious. So I'm like, I'll give you guys a week. And then I remind them every few days, I don't want to be too naggy. And I'm like, okay, it's almost a week, guys. Do something with this, or I will. And you're probably not going to like what I'm going to do with it, because I know it sounds terrible, but I give them a time frame. Otherwise it won't move.
That's great.
Seriously.
That's great. Oh my gosh. My husband was I don't want to say hoarder, that's harsh. He was a collector of things. It was never
Right.
at the hoarding level, but he the amount as minimalist as I am is the opposite as he was. So we were always battling about
Yes.
how to handle
Oh, yeah.
clutter and stuff like. Oh my God, it was
Oh,
terrible.
yeah.
Lisa Hurst, you say, do you have any ideas about time blocks or batching content? Again, that's back to digital. Is this something that you work with or not?
Sorry, can you repeat the question? I can't see the questions on here, can I?
Okay, that's okay. You can, but I don't know how to tell
No,
you to
that's
see it.
okay. Like I said,
So
I'm new
the,
to
the
StreamYard.
question is, do you have ideas about time blocks or batching content creation?
I'm not sure I understand like time block.
So working with your calendar, organizing your calendar.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, so yes, what I tell people, and I think as women, if you know, if we're talking to women, we all take on in our schedule and lives way more than we should, right? So what I tell people is organize, depending on how, if you organize your day by day, or you organize your week like I do, only
Mhm.
put in your calendar what you like what you need to do that is priority, right?
Mm.
And as women, we need to do, or we feel we need to do something every hour on the hour. So you don't have time to breathe or like nothing. So you need to prioritize what is pending in your life. And then you have to either start saying no to people and projects, which was very hard for me because I'm a people pleaser. But I had to start saying no to people because my schedule
Yeah.
like was out of control. So I just give so many hours of the day for my business, right?
Mhm.
And that is it. And if I cannot get to other things or other people, then you know, it has to happen at another time, say. I'm not sure about the content piece though.
Well, that's if someone is a blog writer or is creating videos, batching content, so they're doing a bunch at a time as opposed to one
Yes,
on Monday and
yeah.
one.
So I don't do that per se, but I know that, so if you pick a day, say a Monday or a Sunday, whatever, and you plan your content for the whole month or week, and you pre-record what you want to say, right? You pre-record it, and then you know you post it when you're going to post it. But if you can get it all done in one day, in a few hours or half a day, and take that half a day to create the whole content, video, whatever it may be for the month, then you can sit back and it's pre-done for you, right? It's
Right.
prepping for meals, right? If you take a Sunday and prep all your meals for the week, then the whole week flows so much easier because it's pre-planned,
It's
right?
done. Yeah. And
So that's exactly what you know, I would suggest is plan a day, half a day, however long it takes you, plan out your content, record it or whatever you have to do, and then you can just post it as you need to.
mhm. I also suggest for anybody who's creating a lot of content that the first thing they do is come up with a content calendar. And if you guys want a copy of my content calendar, just put yes
Oh, that's wonderful.
in the comments, and I'll email it to you, or I'll just post it in the group or something. It's like that meal prepping thing where you
Mhm.
start, in advance, where you think about all the topics that you're going to talk about. You
Right.
assign a time frame, so you're not wondering what you're going to do where. But it's much more elaborate than that. So if you guys want to hear more, I'll
That's
be
an
glad to
excellent idea. Yeah. A lot
put
of
a
people
content
do
calendar.
content calendars. You're
Yeah.
right. Right.
One of the other things you say is forget about your phone and office, focus on your cluttered mind. What do you mean by this?
Well, I think we've been talking about this, touching on this the whole time, but you know, your mind, as we know, can get so cluttered, especially as women, right? We take on so much. And we have to find ways of getting rid of that extra information that you don't need, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
you only store so much up here, right? So the stuff you don't need, just let it go, right? We hold on to lists, like maybe your to-do list or paperwork or information and problems, and all that kind of stuff crowds our brains, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when that happens is it starts to manifest into your physical space, right?
Sure.
And then
Right.
your physical space starts to get cluttered, and then
Mhm.
your mind becomes even more cluttered. So they do work hand in hand. So And as women as well, we tend to multitask, right?
Mhm.
Multitask endlessly. We want to do, like I was talking about before, we take on so much. We're doing this, we're doing that. You know, you could be talking to me and you're still like, oh my gosh, I know I have to do this, or you try to do it as I'm talking. It's just our minds don't stop as women, right? So I think for solving this problem, I say try having a mental dump, as funny as that may sound,
Mhm.
every few days. Have a mental dump every few days. And what this means is it translates into creating a to-do list each morning, as I was mentioning earlier, and prioritizing that list in order of importance, right? And if you can't get to everything, then that's fine. You can do it some other time, but let go of all that stuff in your brain by
Right.
prioritizing what it's important to you, right? And deal with it.
Great. Good, good,
Yeah.
good. Um, okay. Anybody else have any more questions we're running out of time here. So any more questions for Anna?
Sorry, I can chit chat. Sorry.
Nothing. Just drop them in the comments. I will read them to her, and we can go from there. If you guys are thinking about this and you want to ask questions later, come back and put them in the comments, and Anna can circle back. She's in the group as well, and she can take a look and
Yes,
respond to any
absolutely.
of the comments you have. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And is there anything else I'm not having any feedback here. So is there anything else you want to add about keeping your mind and your office organized so that you're the most productive? Any other topics you want to talk about?
Well, I'll just touch on again that, a messy desk, a messy home, obviously, as we've talked about, affects your mind.
Right.
Right. So the first thing, as I mentioned, is pick a room and start small, right? If your work desk is something that really bothers you and you need to, pick away at, just pick away at it, pick a little corner of it and organize it how it functions for you,
Baby
right?
steps, right?
Babies, yeah, just don't dive in because no. You're going to become way overwhelmed and you just won't do it. So pick it small, 15 minutes. That's all you need a day, right? And then,
I love that.
yeah,
That's
15
great.
minutes.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, 15 minutes. And you're thinking, well, what? That's not a lot of time. It
It
is.
adds up. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Add
great.
on. Start at 15. Then when you think, okay, I think I can handle maybe 20 or 25 minutes, then you can add. But when you're sitting in chaos all around you, 15 minutes, it will take you just to decide what room you want to start and where.
Right.
So just pick away at it, small little chunks at a time. That's all you need, right? Pick a
Yep.
drawer, a kitchen drawer, whatever, and start small.
Right.
And
Good.
get rid of the stuff you don't use, you don't love, you don't need, that don't serve you anymore, right? Kind of that Marie Kondo thing. If it doesn't bring joy to your life, get rid of it, right? And if it's been sitting in a box for 6 years and
You probably need it.
well, I'm
Right.
serious. People hold on. Oh, but I want to keep that. I didn't even know I had it. Well, then why do you want to keep it if you didn't know you had it? Because
Right.
you haven't gone looking for it, right?
Right.
So,
Right.
especially now that Christmas is coming, I tell people start with your ornaments. All these ornaments you keep because you think, oh my gosh, my aunt gave it to me or whatever, and you never liked it. Just get rid of it or donate it or
Yeah.
whatever you want to do with it, right?
That's
So,
great.
yeah.
Okay, Anna, we're running out of time. Guys, if you
Oh,
have any
thank
more
you.
questions, put them in the comments. We can circle back later and respond to them. Anna, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank
This is
you
great.
so much.
Also, wait,
Yes,
you
down
guys,
with that.
Anna has a great document that she wants to share with you. So I will tell us about the document that you shared with me, and I'll put the link into the description above the video when I file it. So tell us
Okay.
about it.
Yes, absolutely. So it's a download. What we were kind of discussing, the digital space. It tells you there's tips in there on how to get rid of, like some of the files you have and some of the data you keep. It gives you like steps in there of how to start organizing your digital space.
Great.
So as Elise said, she'll put the link in. I'm not sure where you find it
So
here.
I'll file the video
Okay.
in the group, and then in the description above, I'll put that link plus your contact info if someone
Yes,
wants to get in touch with you.
absolutely. Yes.
And so we can carry on the conversation.
Absolutely. I would love to speak to anybody who would just wants to talk about maybe how to start or where to start or whatnot. So, yeah.
Good. Okay, you guys, thank you for joining me today. Anna, thank you so much. I really enjoyed it. Save us from chaos. We all need it. So take care. Thanks for joining me, everybody.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Do I stay on or